Racist.
All right. And
Faces.
oh, come on. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the Unnamed Movie Review Show, hosted by the 86th. The 86 consists of me, Jenny Bennett, your announcer, Mr. Franklin Bay, Johnny Bennett, and our host, Halloween Jack. So without further ado, HJ, take it away. Yeah.
Well, thank you, JD, for that wonderful introduction. And yes, it's appropriate that the song "Good Times" is playing behind it because yes, these are good times. It's always difficult for me because you already said who we were, but I got to say it over again. Over there is Mr. Franklin Bay, one of the 86th, and another member of the 86th. Over there is Johnny Vintage, and yes, we are the 86th, but being 86th, we have risen again like the Phoenix, and we are going to continue to rise, and especially with tonight's episode because it was Frankie's pick, and I'm extremely happy that you picked this because it's something I watch at least once a year because it brings back such great memories, and that is Toho's War of the Gargantuas. So, Frankie, like we always say, why this one?
Why not? Why did I pick this one?
That's good enough. That's
War of the Gargantuas, aka Elvira's boobs get caught in a sweater. Same thing. Another good title and theme song would have been "Feed My Frankenstein." You know, if we go,
yeah,
this is actually a sequel, I guess, to Frankenstein Conquers the World, which I didn't know.
A lot of people didn't, and I will bring that up.
But this movie, it's probably one of my earliest monster movies as a kid. It was released 2 months before I was, in 1966, and wow, it was just, I remember just watching it. Of course, I didn't see it in the theaters, but by the time I was, coherent enough to remember, it was probably on Creature Double Feature on Boston's Channel 56, which was always a great channel to catch the stuff. But the movie just really just always captured me. As a kid, it actually really scared me. The green thing really scared me, especially in that first sequences. But in the same sense, it also, I learned that certain fear is fun. You know, I was like, yeah, I'm scared, but this is fun. You know, 6, 7, 8 years old, whatever I was. But yeah, this movie holds a ton of memories. Rewatching it opened up all those memories again, you know, and I'm sure it has for some of you guys too, hopefully.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
We'll go on ahead.
So many things I found out about this movie I didn't know, but you're in good company, Frankie.
Yeah.
Because this was supposedly the first film that Brad Pitt ever saw.
Wow.
Yeah. And this also inspired Quentin Tarantino to become a filmmaker.
Nice.
And supposedly it's Nicolas Cage's favorite film too. So
man, talk about good company.
You're in very good company there.
Though I wouldn't want to be in the company of Brad Pitt because I hear he lives up to his last name. It's like, woo.
I don't know. I like him better now than I've ever liked him, to be honest. Some of the films he's doing.
Oh, I agree. He's
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
That was fantastic.
Great in that. I'll tell you real quick. This holds a lot of memories for me. I'll go back to 1968 as a child. I think I was over a babysitter's house and I saw the trailer for King Kong Escapes come on TV. Yeah. And I was like, I got to see this.
Yeah.
Okay. Fast forward a year later, 1969, Destroy All Monsters. Saw the trailer on TV. I was like, I got to see this.
Yes.
Fast forward another year, 1970, and the trailer for this, because it came out in the theaters with Monster Zero, which was a 1965 film and that finally made it to American Shores as a double feature of Where the Gargantuas, and that came on as a trailer, and I was like, I gotta see this. And I did in the theater, and I did in the theaters, which always a great experience. Okay, let's go to Johnny Vintage. Let's your first thoughts on this.
Before I give my first thoughts, I need to give shout outs to Juke Shua, Doc Dredd, Dracokai, and Mr. Franklin Bay and Halloween Jack for spreading the show all around last. We probably got more people watched our show last week than we've done since. It had to go on a different channel. We are the 86, but somebody's tried to 86 this show twice. We did the first time, well, you can put it on your channel. Well, I had to develop a channel. Then, well, screw it. I'm going to go after the channel, an 86er channel. And then we didn't miss a beat. We literally went on to the next week, and it was a hard week and a half, that I've been through.
But that shows our tenacity here. I mean, you're not going to keep us down.
Yeah, but thanks for that, for the 86, because
thank you.
We had probably more viewers than we have ever had.
That goes to show you the support of everybody, because they knew. Yes. Let's say it flat out, we were wronged. Okay, so and everybody knew that, and thank you.
And the Monster Channel community, besides my friends and family, but the Monster Channel community has been outstanding.
I know.
I've gotten messages from people. I'm not going to say their name because I don't need somebody to be a vengeful person to go after. But I've had some people that I highly respect, and they've sent so many heartwarming messages, and it's just been overwhelming. So that being aside, we're going to keep going forward like we always do.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to get back to tonight's movie.
Well, let me ask you, when was the first time you saw this? Actually, that's what my question is.
I was getting ready to say. I'm guessing it was probably around 1980 or so. Because then, and how we got it is we finally got cable in our area. Before cable, I'm dealing with the three major channels, the three UHF channels, and you're just watching whatever they throw at you monster wise. But once cable hit, it was great, because TBS at the time was I think the first channel I seen this movie. I would scour the listings for monster movies, and that was the first time I seen it. I think it's the only time I'd seen it, because I don't think I've actually rewatched it since, and I rewatched it today, and it was just outstanding, But I'll get into why a little later. But I didn't know it was a sequel to Frankenstein Conquers the World. You okay there? You have an earthquake there, HJ?
Yeah. As usual, an earthquake named Eleanor. Yeah.
I'm still saying we need an Eleanor cam.
We need a wide lens.
But this movie was just fantastic, and I'm glad you picked it, Frank, and we'll get into that.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of, TBS, TNT, they were really cool back in the 90s. I'm not saying they're not now, but their programs changed a lot. But TNT, remember they used to have Joe Bob at one time, and then they had Fright. What was it, Fright Vision or something like that? Or
are you thinking about Night Flight? Was that?
Well, it's almost USA. Like a Night Flight thing.
It was USA. USA is also a good one.
Yeah,
USA.
But TNT also had a nighttime show. Fright Vision. Joe Bob was on there sometimes, but and they would show things like this all the time. Like I said, this really holds a special place in my heart. I got to tell you a story about this real quick. My daughter, who now is 35 years old, at the time was only 3, and she used to like watching horror movies. One of the things she used to watch over and over again was Earth versus the Spider, which I don't know why, but she was fascinated with it. Well, anyway, one day she comes up to me and she goes, "I want to watch the pom-poms." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And she goes, "I want to watch the pom-poms." And I'm telling you, we went through a whole week of, what is the freaking pom-poms? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? And one thing about my daughter, and I'm guessing she gets this from me, when you started questioning her, she would get mad. She goes, "I want to watch the pom-poms." And finally, what turned me onto it was she said the green pom pom. I was like, oh, for God's sake, you're talking about War of the Gargantuas. And she
Yeah.
would watch it like, I'm telling you, she would watch these movies over and over again. And you could tell she was my child, uh, you know, but, again, this goes back to, childhood, watching it in the theaters. And then, of course, my kids watching it. So it's always held a special place in my heart. And the cast, I mean, Russ Tamblyn, of all people. Okay. Of course, he was in West Side Story. He was in The Haunting, 1954's Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. And then he was in that Netflix series, The Haunting of Hill House, which was also based on The Haunting, which he was in 1963. And then he did this. So, and it seemed like there was a lot of American actors who went that way, because you also had Nick Adams. But there was Kumi Mizuno, who was in Frankenstein Conquers the World, which this was supposed to be a sequel to, but they totally left that out of the original American version, because the Gargantuas were supposed to be created from the cells of the Frankenstein monster from Frankenstein Conquers the World. But just like we do whenever we translate everything here in America and we screw it up, that was never mentioned in the American version. But it's unusual because today I was watching it on Tubi, and they were calling the creature Frankenstein. So I guess there are different versions out there of this film, that refer to that. And I always thought that was a great thing, to put these two movies together. But like I said, originally when it came out, they totally took that out of the equation. And, so you were like, well, why do these creatures have flat heads, like Frankenstein and everything? But, all right.
I just want to go out and say that this guy looks nothing like this guy.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess
Yeah,
just
you
the
do the
flat
same.
head. I guess it's just the flat head. I don't know.
But that's supposed to be the same one. He is supposed to
Well,
be.
no, they were created from cells from him. It was, I don't know what, I don't know how to explain it. But it's funny though, because at the end of Frankenstein Conquers the World, the original Japanese version, he takes on an octopus. And you look at the beginning of this film, and what does it start off with? An octopus. I don't know if it's supposed to be the same one. I'm guessing that the other one got killed, but
Calamari time.
all right. So, Vintage, I'm going to go with you first. What were your favorite parts of this film?
What really strikes me about this particular film is the kaiju have more air, on the screen, like 75% of the time, and it's the action, and that has to do with the suits they're wearing. Unlike Ultraman, where he can move around a lot, and but his opponent was always just like a monster suit, big rubber suit, so you didn't get a lot of action. These two could go really at it. I mean, like the green dude, he was just trucking through the town, stepping on houses, getting to the you
look like a toddler, like seeing a spider.
Yeah. And honestly, it is some of the set pieces, struck me as a kid. I would have liked to have been playing with, like when the green one's at the airport, and you got that cool airport set and them big planes, like, oh, that's really cool, that's a great thing about Toho films. It's all miniatures, but those are some really good ones for that, because they were up close shots as opposed to distant shots, and we'll get into that a little bit later. I don't know. I didn't take a lot of notes because I just was really into it. That was really cool. But yeah, I don't even know if my dislikes are really dislikes, to be honest. So, we'll get to that. I always look at movies and like, how did 9-year-old me like this? And I think I liked it more this time than I probably did the first time, to be honest with you. So, yeah.
Well, I have to say, I mean, I think this film had a much darker tone at the beginning. I mean, let's face it. I mean, he was eating people, and that whole thing what you said with the airport. I mean, him constantly having to be in undercover out of the sun. I mean, that just gave it a very dark tone at the beginning. It, I mean, I'm not going to say it degenerated into a typical Toho, kiddie film. And I think that's what I liked about this. From beginning to end, it was, kind of dark, and it kind of lightened up at the beginning or by the end. But it was consistent with its idea, where it wasn't, it just didn't degenerate into a kiddie show, which is kind of what I liked about it. Frankie, what's your favorite things about this?
Oh, I got a few. I'll narrow it down to like 3 or 4. The first is like at any time that a Japanese military soldier spoke, not because of the missyncing, but because of the reaction would be like, yeah, sure, okay, It's like, oh my god. The opening scene, I mean, was fantastic. The effects, I mean, I know they're all practical effects. The octopus arms coming into the boat, the contrast of Squigman when he shows up. That's what I call the green one, because he's kind of scaly and he likes the water. That movie just grabbed you right away, but it was creepy and scary. This big giant thing. I mean, you're thinking this is like an evil King Kong, from a kid's point of view. It's like, holy crap. And another favorite part is when the army was really laying in on them with the lasers, when they were just cutting off the treetops. I mean, I know they just had charges and set, but that was a well-planned, well thought out sequence for the time even. I mean, I just love that. I mean, yeah, they animate the lasers in later, but it really looked like they were really cutting through, like, wow, clearing off a lot. And
By the way, they're called masers.
Oh, masers, really?
And I don't know why, but that's the first time they appeared in a Toho film.
Well, probably because they're afraid to get sued.
After that.
Yeah, they probably didn't know somebody had a copyright on phaser or laser, so we'll call it maser. Or maybe because they couldn't say it, laser. Whoops. Never mind. And also when they had the redheaded American singer by the by the club or whatever it was, or a boat, or it was right by the water and stuff. I mean, I don't remember, but you just know what was going to happen because she's right there. The water's right behind her. And what is she singing? The words get caught in my throat. The words get caught in my throat. And I'm thinking in about a few minutes, you're going to get caught in his throat. And he didn't even get a chance. He just like throws it down.
Do you want me to blow your mind with something?
Yeah.
That woman's name is Kim Hamilton, and she was actually Carol Burnett's sister-in-law.
Wow.
She actually did a lot of TV in the 60s. I mean, how they wind up in these films, I have no idea, unless, the Japanese court them and, hey, we'll give you money. Come over here, to Japan. But, yeah, she was Carol Burnett's sister-in-law. And you stole my line because I was going to say that she got stuck in his throat.
Oh, I'm sorry. Just edit it out. And then you say it. Then
great minds think alike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's about it. I mean, I'll stop there. I mean, I love the whole movie, but there are a few things that didn't sit well with me. But that's coming up.
I mean, again, some of my favorite parts is what usually typically happens in these movies is the army is very ineffective, but they were effective against the Green. I mean, they blasted the crap out of him, and he's bleeding and everything like that. And, that's, sorry, terror train's coming through. I mean, that's what got me was the dark nature of this film. As opposed to, a lot of the lighthearted other Toho films. I mean, and speaking of the words get stuck in my throat, or it was also called The Beating of My Heart. I never knew this until I researched this today. Devo actually did a cover of that song.
Of course. Why wouldn't they?
What was his name? There was a character that Mark Mothersbaugh had created called Boogie Boy, but he wasn't spelled Boogie. It was Booji, and there was a reason why they couldn't use a G. I can't even remember now. But they used to close some of their shows with Boogie Boy singing "The Words Get Stuck." Look it up on YouTube. I'm not lying. And it is terrible, but you got to look it up.
Yeah. I forget how it goes, but I was singing it for the rest of the night last night. Until I was told to shut up by Priscilla.
Again, I mean, my favorite parts, it's hard for me to narrow it down. I mean, the whole thing. And like Vintage has said, sometimes with the Toho movies, they get too involved in the human drama.
Yeah.
There was some of that in here, but it was small. You know what I mean? It was great that a lot of the action and a lot of the focus was on the Gargantuas. That was like Godzilla Final Wars. The movie that had everybody in it, and the Gargantua was in it for like a brief period of time. Godzilla only had 12 minutes. That movie was over 2 hours long, and Godzilla had 12 minutes in that film. So you can imagine all the other monsters had a hell of a lot less time than that. So that was always my complaint about some of the films. But like Vintage said, this was really a lot of time with the action, a lot of time with the monsters. I mean, they were very concentrated on them. And then, of course, there's the usual cast of Toho characters.
Mm-hmm.
You recognize some of them. Who's one of them? Kenji Sahara. I mean, a lot of them were in Ultraman. A lot of them were in all the Godzilla films, and even some of them were going into the Heisei period of 1990s. They were in there, and that's one thing I have to say about Toho. I mean, they kept their same cast of characters throughout. Gosh, what I mean, decades after decades. I guess that's it about my favorite. I mean, I think one of my big favorite parts was the reveal of the second Gargantua. When
he's like,
the good guy. When he came to rescue his brother. But then again, another one of my favorite parts is when he finally realized that the green one wasn't a good guy.
I don't want the dishes. He was pissed.
When did he find that out? I'm just curious because I remember he rescued the green one, and then his brown one shows up and falls down the cliff and rescues the girl, and then he comes back. Green one's just recovering, takes a tree and beats the shit out of him.
Because I think it was he saw clothing.
Yes, a lot
of clothing, and he realized that he was a cannibal, I guess, and eating
he's in the buffet while he was out there taking care of business. He was pissed. Lay around the house all day.
Tell me that part wasn't great. It's like, okay, I'm mad. Let me pick up this tree trunk and start beating the crap out of him.
And the guy's like, "What the hell, man? I'm sleeping here.
I take it he was. Now, from what I understand, I take it he was the first one because then when they were showing him when he was a little whatever that thing was, he was brown.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he was the original one. Now, supposedly the green one was created from cells from him.
Mm.
Okay, so I'm taking it he was the older, so it was like the older brother beating the crap out of his younger brother, like.
Ooh, maybe it's like that movie with Michael Keaton, Multiplicity. With each version, they started cloning the clones, and they got weirder and more messed up. That's why the green one was so messed up.
I mean, I'm not going to get into bad things yet. We'll get into that. So I'm going to start with you, Vintage. What were some of your not favorite parts of this film?
Well, what little notes I wrote is like you could start out at the beginning, the guy that's on the wheel of the boat, he's just spinning that wheel. I'm pretty sure that's not how you do that.
Waters are thinner in Japan.
Yeah, it went for one way and then he spun it the other. I'm like, yeah, you're a terrible first mate. When he chewed up the green one, chewed up the woman at the airport, and then he spit her back out. It reminded me of like chewing them up and spitting them out. And then the lady singing. Well, first off, she wouldn't make it on American Idol. Because I was thinking that singing is just going to attract them. I was like, what the hell is this horrible noise I'm hearing? And then she's singing the one song. If you pay attention to her feet, she's doing the twist. And it's nitpick. It's just little crap I noticed. You know, why have we never developed laser cannons like that? I mean, this was in the 60s. Why don't we have those yet?
Lasers.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are awesome.
The cleaning bill for the Army and white gloves has got to be tremendous because it seems like a really odd color. You know, you're going to stick out. You know, you may be able to see the rest of the soldier. You see these little white hands in the air. Jazzy hands. There's a scene where the green one's tossing the tanks, right? And it hits a house. And I'm thinking that's either a really tiny house or a 2-story tank that's hitting these houses.
Yeah.
I'm not taking somebody's material home because I was just like, damn, that's a big ass tank or a tiny little house. Okay. The Army guy tells, you know, he says, well, use the helicopters to slow him down. I'm like, well, what are they? They're just flying around. They're not shooting them. And then the one, he finally jumps up and gets the one and throws it to the ground. You think the other one would think, maybe I should fly a little higher. You know, instead, he gets jumped up and thrown to the ground too. Like, let's see. It should have been in my legs. There's this line where the scientist guy says he called everybody except for the SPCA, and I'm like,
I love that line. That was hysterical.
That was great. And you know, at the end there, and they're worried about the two Gargantuas fighting out in the bay. They probably should be a little bit more concerned that a giant volcano just popped up in Tokyo Bay.
And you want to know something about that? The original ending was that was going to destroy Tokyo too,
Well,
which would have made sense. I mean, but I don't know why they didn't do it. But you know, that's Toho for you.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, guys.
No. I got one thing I'll say for final thoughts. But
Oh, you're gonna say one? Oh, okay. Well, all right, Frankie.
There was one other. It wasn't as good as that line, but the part where at the beginning he says, apparently Frankenstein's ghost is apparently eating some people. You know, it's just like, how often did you get to hear that line being said? Frankenstein's ghost is apparently eating some people.
Well, the bride's going to be very upset.
The SPCA line was great. Like I mentioned, the effects I thought were fantastic for the time.
For the time, absolutely.
Oh yeah, I thought in the camera, I thought it was very well thought out, matching the feel and the color variations, and most of it was right on. But let's see, it bothered me at first when the Brown was communicating. It's like, how does he know how to, you know? I'm sorry, but it was like shaking his head no, and like telling the army to, you know, back, you know, nah. I just didn't buy that. That was kind of weird. And the way he was kind of pampering the green one, it was like, please get a cave.
Well, but wait a minute. Let's remember something. The Brown one was raised by humans.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. That's true.
So I mean, I'm not trying to, you know.
No, that's good because it was schmaltzy, and it was like, oh please, you know. The part, there's some great effects, like that first boat thing picks up the boat, but then you see the part with just the fisherman guy and his son or whatever on that boat, and it's a really scary scene. You look, and the thing's like looking at them from under the water. That was like, whoa.
Yeah, that was pretty wild.
Yeah, that was the scariest scene. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, but just that. But then they just take the camera and go like this, and the guy's like, "Oh, okay, fall off the boat." And they just kind of roll off the boat, and I'm like, "Oh, that was weak." And there's the part. There's a part where he is at the cliffside, and the assistant falls. You know, after he gets hit in the leg, and these guys, when they get hurt, they really overreact. I'm like, he hits his leg, and I was waiting for him to drop F-bombs and stuff. Like, wow. but then he catches the girl, and like you said, he remembers the girl, obviously, because he grew up in captivity. I forgot about that part. But the effects in there were horrible. They were bad. You could see blue screen. You could see contrast. You can, when he's picking her up, it was just like you could see it was totally different lighting film. It just popped out to where, which pops out more in contrast to the excellent special effects in the rest of the film. But that was probably the weakest effect, you know. And one other time I could see hints of blue screen, you know, on the edging and stuff like that. But again, the time, I mean, it's impressive that they were using blue screens in 66. I mean, I think they used to use black screen or something like that. But and just the fact that the final thing that bothered me was just the fact that they never really, well, in this cut anyway, they never really explained or led you to think what's going to happen, or, you know, they unclimactically are fighting in the steam of the volcano or the smoke of the volcano. You can't even see them anymore, and, you know, that's it. And they said, oh, they must be dead. Well, apparently you guys are too, because that's a freaking volcano. It popped out of nowhere. But yeah, other than that, the movie was a masterpiece from a kid's point of view. Mike is me as a kid.
I mean, it's funny because my least favorite part didn't come until later on when I, you know, found out that this was supposed to be a sequel to Frankenstein Conquers the World. And like I said, you know, believe me, I'm an American, but we really know how to screw things up, you know, when it comes to translating these things. I mean, I wish they would have kept that whole plot line going. And the only other thing with me is the whole idea of a volcano just popping up at the end, and it was like a, you know, hey, okay, this has been a really good movie, and then it was just a ridiculous simple solution to the end. Now the original Frankenstein Conquers the World was kind of like that, because the American version just had him holding up Baragon and he sunk into the ground. It was the same thing. The Japanese version, once again, it was all of a sudden an octopus came out of nowhere, attacked him, and dragged him off, and they disappeared into a volcano. So, you know, that seems to be the like go-to ending, you know, when it comes to films. And but other than that, I mean, I really had no complaints about this. I mean, even again, the human interaction was kept more to the minimum than other Toho films, but what they did was very significant. I mean, the whole part of Russ Chamberlain and the girl being in, you know, the subway when it was collapsing. I mean, you really felt that to me, you know, when what was going on outside of the whole thing. And yeah, I mean, that's it for me. I really can't say too many bad things about this. I mean, again, you know, it's one of those films that, you know, I'm not going to say it holds up, but viewing it now as a child, that it's in those indelible impressions that these films leave with you. And, you know, again, maybe it harkens back to better times when you were a kid and everything. So, I mean, that has a lot to do with a lot of films today that I saw back then, and particularly this one. All right. So, what are we up to? Are we going to rate this already?
Final thoughts.
Yeah, we got to rate it, and then final thoughts, right?
We have to rate it first, and then final thoughts.
I think that's how we've been. We could go the other way.
No, let's do the rating.
Let's do what?
Let's do the rating. I'm really anxious to see where we end up.
Rate it? All right, we're going to start with vintage then.
8.5.
What is it?
8.5.
8.5.
Cool. That's a good one.
Wow, that's cool. And a reason for that? Do we have to give a reason? Or
I just really liked it. I think it rekindled my feeling as a kid watching these movies, and this was a really excellent one for a Toho kaiju film. You know, like I said, it had more monsters than you normally get in the Toho films. You know, and it was one of it is a kind of a darker film. It's, you know, it has that ambiguous ending at the end that they could both be dead, or they're just still fighting down there underwater, or they swam to an island, or drinking martinis or something. But it was it was nostalgia, and
Yeah.
it was a good kaiju film. You know, it had some flaws, but still, why not an 8.5? You know, I just think
Well,
it's that good.
that's kind of my point about this is that it didn't, again, it didn't degenerate into a kids fest. It kind of maintained that dark thing throughout the whole. I'll save that. Frankie, what are you going to rate this?
I tell you, it's not a 10 with me, only because, and it probably would be if they would fix the those couple of problem areas, you know, and the editing just really drives me nuts. I wouldn't, yeah, that would drive me crazy. It's like almost like the ending. It's I'm like, okay, it's about quitting time. Let's wrap it up. Okay, well, what do we want to do? Bring in the volcano. Just cheese it up. I know that wasn't the case, but if that move, if those effects had the same feel as the rest, it would have been a 10, but I'll give it a 9.5.
9.5.
Yeah.
Well, the kid in me would have given this a 10. I mean, just gosh, I mean, seriously, out of all the Toho films we saw, okay, you know, a lot of the early Godzilla films were darker, and you know, of course, being based on Hiroshima and things like that. But then it started to lighten up. But what Godzilla film or any Toho film or Kaiju film did you have where the creature was eating people? I mean, that really appealed to the morbid side of my child.
No,
Child,
I understand. Yeah, it was just disturbing. It was like Jaws, how Jaws kind of bothered you, know, because it was eating people and stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, how many Toho films dealt with something like that? I mean, you didn't, you know, all right, well, maybe Godzilla, you know, rampaged through and crushed people, but they didn't really show it. This was like kind of front and center with that, you know, with him spitting out the clothing, and you knew what, you know, what he was doing. I'm going to give it a 9.5. Like I said, the child in me would have given it a 10, but I'm going to give it a 9.5. And again, I'm only doing that because, again, I wish the American distributors and the ones who you know, did the, you know, gosh, when I think of resyncing it or whatever, you know, that they would have kept that in there. And again, there was a lot of films like that they missed the ball. You know, they missed that point. But yeah, I'll give it a 9.5.
Awesome.
All right, I'm going to adjust mine up to 9.
Hey! Might be
I'm going to go up to 9.
Let us influence you. You just stick with what your heart tells you, you know?
Well, that's when we do things. We remind of each other of things like, yeah, that's a good point. I'm going to go up. Or, no, that's not true. I'm going to knock it down.
Well, like I said, you know, the kid in me loved this film, but the adult loves it too. You know, it wasn't diminished in any way over the years with me. And again, it might be, you know, the nostalgia factor to it, but I just think it holds up even as an adult viewing this. You know, I liked it a lot. Well,
apparently Warner Brothers in 2029 is supposed to have a remake.
What?
Yeah, part of the whole Legendary Films thing with Monarch, and it's going to be tied in with that. And
oh, wow.
Yeah, they're doing a remake in 2029, May of 2029.
Wow.
So, yeah. So that's
the world makes it till then.
Yeah. I was just thinking, God, I hope I live that long. I want to see it.
I'd be more impressed though if they did a remake of Frankenstein Conquers the World first, and then do this and tie it together.
I don't know. Maybe that could be the plan, or maybe they'll merge the two together, and that, you know, that could be interesting too. You know,
that would be amazing if they did that.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go with final thoughts. Vintage.
Well, you know, you got the good and the monster and the bad one, and you know, in the beginning, the green one, you know, fighting the octopus, and then he beats the octopus, and then he just decides to screw with that boat, and, you know, purposely sink it. I mean, why would somebody purposely sink something? And you know, so it just got me thinking. So, you know, I was rooting for the brown one. I was just hoping the brown one would just kick the green one's ass.
All right, wait a minute. Is one of these brown and green? I can't tell on my screen. So
yeah, the one on the left is brown, and the one on the right is the green one. Yeah. And And so it just, again, the
Whatever.
green one is just, a disgruntled person and decides to sing something for no damn reason. So yeah, I that's what I took away from it.
Bravo.
Yes, bravo.
Very well done.
And then I went back. It's like, man, they still don't look like the original. But then I go back and I'm looking at them. Well, maybe they are kind of similar. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Frankenstein conquers YouTube.
Before you finish up, HJ, Jenny's got another Jenny's Thoughts video for tonight too.
Right, I saw that in the trailer.
Yeah.
So, okay, Frank, your final thoughts. I can't talk anymore.
Watching these movies, the fun thing, the best thing is the music, dun, 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 and the toy trucks and stuff. And like you said, they really did close ups. You could see they had little GI Joe dolls in there. They weren't moving but shooting the guns. It's like playing army with. It's just fun. It was just so much fun.
It's what you expect though from these.
Yeah. But this one really caught that, and just the wrestling match and the battle between the two likely creatures, and the brown one was a little bit taller, but it evened out because he got the handicap. He broke his leg, or they said he broke his leg when that rock hit him, and he went, oh, poor baby. But some people said that they don't remember the airport scene, that they edited out of the American cut earlier. When he grabbed that woman and ate her.
I remember that from the beginning.
I do too. I always remember that. And and that's also how when the brown one comes home and Sigmund's there snoozing and is tattered clothes everywhere. And plus they talk about the remains and do all the clothes look like this? All the teeth marks. Yeah, it's like an owl. He eats like an owl. He chews up the meat and spits out the bones and the clothing and the fur. And but I will definitely watch this again, and I'm sorry for myself that I didn't watch it sooner. Again, it's been quite a while, but wow, this definitely is a brick, a staple in my life as movies. If I was to get thrown on an island somewhere, there would definitely have to be one of the movies I'd have to be able to watch. There's no electricity, and I'd have to build one with a coconut.
And your point to it, I mean, sometimes in a lot of the Toho films that climactic scene, there was a lot of boring stuff that led up to that. But see, this is where this was different, because you had the green one first, and that filled like a first part of the movie with a lot of action. Then you had the brown one. So by the time you got the climactic fight, you still had a lot of stuff going on even before that, where usually, I'm not all Toho films, but you know what I'm saying. That
so when Godzilla, where he's going now, where he's at now.
This was almost like two different films at some point.
Yeah.
Where you had this whole thing with the green one, and then you had the brown one, and it was great, and it was then great climax to it. All right, guys, anything you want to say before we shuffle on out of here? Or?
Well, yeah, we still have the video. Plus, we've got next week's episode to discuss. It's my pick.
It's your pick. Oh boy, yeah.
and it's Valentine's Day season.
So
I'm gonna have you all set. I don't know if you've seen it. I'm gonna do a recent movie. It came out, I believe it was last year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have you set through a slasher rom-com.
Oh, cool. Good combo.
Heart Eyes.
No.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Surprisingly good. I was surprised when I went to see it. I'm like, because I'm not big on horror comedies, and a horror rom-com, and it's surprisingly worked. I think it's something.
I'm not going to say anything about it. Don't want to spoil it, but good choice. No, I agree.
And the week after that, we're doing our new renamed show called Retrobution, and it'll be HJ's pick of the Night Stalker Cult Check. Yep. And we'll be showing that. Night of review.
Be able to watch it.
You're going to watch it with us and listen to us.
Hopefully nobody will 86 us on that one. So
So yeah, that's what's
Which I
coming
kind
up.
of believe happened, but I'm not going to be a conspiracy theorist about this. Never
All
know.
right. Well, Jenny gave me a video to post, and she made me promise I wouldn't watch it. She says if I watch it, the next time we do something together, she's going to poop on my hand. So
Oh gosh.
So, but she did say, don't expect a laugh riot. This is, it's a little different from her. So here we go. I hope.
Well, hello, everybody. It's me, Jenny Vintage. And this is another episode of Jenny's Thoughts. Today, this episode is going to be a little tough for me. I'm probably going to ramble a little bit. Hopefully, I don't cuss too much. But hey, this is kind of about life and karma and the butterfly effect. So, let's be honest, life is tough. So why try to make it tougher on others? So in life, everybody makes mistakes, and we can own up to them and hopefully get a second chance. Now, if you're such a person that's made mistakes and then ask for forgiveness, and you have people that stick their neck out, vouch for you, to get you reacquainted with the people that you've wronged, and then you go do the same damn thing again, that's not good. You're making life tougher on the person that vouched for you, that stuck their neck out to say, hey, this person won't do this again. It was just kind of a one-off thing. But now, and then you're hurting their credibility. He's vouched for you with others. Now the others are wondering, well, maybe his judgment was not that good either. And you've embarrassed the person. Or in life, you could be doing projects with somebody, whether it be horrific projects or just monkeying around. You involve yourself with people that take time out of their lives to do things with you, say like on social media or YouTube channel. Yeah, I'm not trying to be too subtle, but hey, so these people that take their times out of their lives, this could be important to them, like you preach like it's their show or our show or whatever, and then you kind of flake out and like, well, I don't want to do it no more, and you scrap everything, all the time and effort, the guests that people have come on your show because they want to help, they want to be part of it, they want to further you along, right? But then you just like, well, I'm going to take my ball and go home. I don't need no more of this. Is that fair to everybody? Like I said, the butterfly effect, what you do can influence others in their feelings and situations down the road. The people that thought they were investing their time for a worthy thing, and then it's just gone for no damn reason, maybe you should give that work to that person instead of just deleting it or sitting on it and it never being seen again. Maybe that person can do something with that material that they worked hard on, And, yeah. And those guests, those people that took the time, what should they think about this? Well, here's one for you, Say you have a disagreement with a friend and you had made friends with some of that person's friends, and then you have a disagreement, and then you just kind of say, well, I don't want to be friends with those people no more. And those people are wondering, what the hell? What did I do? Why was I unfriended? How damn childish can you be if, like you're in elementary school? Well, you're friends with that person. Oh, I can't be friends with you. Or you can be friends with me and not that person. What the hell? You're an adult. Act like an adult. Yeah. Oh, man, I'm getting a lot. I'm sorry. It's a little personal. I don't mean anything. But let's be honest. If your life is so miserable that the only happiness you get is trying to make other people's lives miserable, maybe you should take a long, hard look in the mirror. Make some changes in your life. Look at how you got to where you're at. Life is already tough. Don't make the life tougher on others. That's kind of fucked up. Oh, I'm sorry, I cussed again. But yeah, you know, you try to be a better person. You know, it's just sad. And I'm usually kind of funny and try to be lighthearted. But when somebody just goes out of their way to hurt somebody else, it's just kind of messed up. See, I didn't cuss that time. So, my thoughts are this: treat others the way you would want to be treated. Take others' feelings into consideration. You know, it's human nature to try to be selfish and think about yourself, but it doesn't mean you have to be that way. Doesn't mean you can't care for others or respect their opinions or what certain things mean something to them that may not mean as much to you. You know? Yeah, I'm rambled, and I'm sorry I'm not as funny and happy today, but let's be honest. This past week and a half has been a real kick in the balls, and I don't have balls. So anyway, I'll see you next time on Jenny's Thoughts. Be kind to people. What's it going to cost you? Why?
Awesome.
Wow. You can't say
Agreed.
anything over that. I mean, that's
Hey, she's not a total bitch all the time. Yeah. That doesn't.
very insightful.
Some may change by next week. Oh, I didn't take a wider view. I'm not sure if you can see behind me.
What am I doing?
We get the whole picture.
Is somebody doing some house cleaning?
There's a vacuum cleaner hose, and Frank's just wondering what the hell's going on.
Yeah, I am. But so is Frankie P.
Wait a minute. Is that me back there in the background?
Yeah. You're
Okay.
a little sloshed.
Well, that's nothing new. And the look on Jenny's face is priceless. So
That's Jenny's neighbor, huh? Woo.
But anyway, actually,
well, I really can't top anything she said, and I'm not going to try. So that's the perfect way to go out tonight. As usual, on behalf of Frankie B, Johnny Vintage, I'm Halloween Jack, and thank you so much for tuning in. And next time, Hard Eyes, good choice, and we'll explain why. Frankie, you got to watch it, and you'll figure it out. And
awesome.
Then coming up, we'll be doing The Night Stalker. So looking forward to that. So thank you, everybody, for watching.
Thank you.
Whether you watch live, whether you're watching later on, we're the 86th. And this is the Unnamed, and we'll see you next time. Peace out.